Hello and welcome to my new podcast, Air and Space Stories. Are you ready for an exciting news? Fasten your seatbelts and enjoy your flight with me, Cinzia. This is episode 9, season 1. In this episode, I will talk about Elon Musk's Starlink, and in particular, I will answer to the top 10 questions about this system. Question number 1. What is Starlink? Starlink is a satellite internet constellation being developed by SpaceX, the private space exploration company founded by Elon Musk. It aims to provide high-speed, low-latency internet access to users worldwide, particularly in areas where traditional broadband services are not available or are unreliable, with the long-term goal of creating a global internet network. Question number 2. How does Starlink work? First, let's talk about the launch. SpaceX launches batches of 60 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit, the LEO, using its Falcon 9 rockets. The satellites are launched in groups and are gradually deployed into orbit. Second, deorbits. The satellites of Starlink operate at an altitude of about 550 kilometers, that's 340 miles, above Earth's surface. They are arranged in a constellation or a network of interconnecting satellites that are evenly distributing throughout the orbit. And the Starlink satellites communicate with each other using laser links and radio waves. They also communicate with ground stations that are located around the world. The ground stations are connected to the internet backbone, which allows the satellites to provide internet connectivity to users on the ground. The user's terminal. To access the Starlink internet service, users need a small pizza box-sized device called a user terminal or Starlink dish. This device is installed on the ground and communicates with the nearest Starlink satellite in orbit. And speed and latency. The Starlink system provides high-speed internet access with low latency, which is the time it takes for data to travel from the user's device to the internet and back. The low latency is achieved because Starlink satellites are in LEO, which is much closer to Earth than traditional geostationary satellites. Question number 3. What are Starlink's strengths and weaknesses and unique selling proposition? First, high-speed internet access. Starlink provides high-speed internet access to users in rural and remote areas where traditional broadband services are not available or are unreliable. And second, the low latency. Starlink satellite internet provides low latency, as I said before, meaning that data can be transmitted very quickly, which is important for activities such as online gaming and video conferencing. The third is global coverage. The Starlink satellite constellation is designed to provide internet access to users worldwide, making it a unique solution for those in areas where traditional internet services are not available. And fourth is scalability. As more satellites are launched and ground stations are built, Starlink service can be scaled up to meet growing demand. However, Starlink has also some weaknesses, including, for example, the high cost, because the initial cost of the Starlink kit, which includes a satellite dish and modem, is relatively high, making it a less affordable option for some users. And second, the limit bandwidth, because Starlink is still in the early stages of development. The total bandwidth available is currently limited, which can lead to slower speeds during peak usage times. And fourth, environmental concerns. Some scientists and environmental groups have expressed concern about the impact of thousands of satellites in low Earth orbit onto the night sky and on astronomical research. Question number 4. Who are Starlink's competitors and what is their USP? Starlink's competitors in the satellite internet market include OneWeb, which is a satellite internet company that is developing a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites, Starlink, to provide high-speed internet access to users worldwide. The unique selling proposition is its ability to provide internet connectivity to users in both rural and urban areas. The second is Amazon Project Kuiper. Project Kuiper is a satellite internet initiative launched by Amazon. The project aims to provide high-speed internet access to users worldwide through a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites. Project Kuiper's unique selling proposition is its ability to provide low-cost, high-speed internet access to users in areas where traditional internet services are not available. The third is HughesNet. HughesNet is a satellite internet service provider that offers high-speed internet access to users in rural and remote areas of the United States. HughesNet's unique selling proposition is its ability to provide reliable, high-speed internet access to users in areas where traditional internet services are not available. And the last one is Viasat. Viasat is a satellite internet service provider that offers high-speed internet access to users in both residential and business settings. Viasat's unique selling proposition is its ability to provide high-speed internet access to users in rural and remote areas of the United States. Question number 5. Is Elon Musk's marketing strategy on Starlink successful, and why? We all know that Elon Musk's strategy for Starlink has been largely successful for several reasons. Firstly, the concept of global satellite internet network is a novel and exciting idea that captures people's imaginations. By positioning Starlink as a solution to the problem of limited or no internet access in rural and remote areas, Musk has stepped into a real need that many people have, particularly during the pandemic when remote work and schooling have become more prevalent. Secondly, Musk has effectively used social media, particularly Twitter, to promote Starlink and generate buzz around the service by providing regular updates on the progress of Starlink's development and responding to questions from potential customers. Musk has built a community of followers who invested in the success of Starlink. And thirdly, Musk has adopted an innovative pricing model for Starlink, with users paying a one-time fee for the Starlink kit and a monthly subscription fee for the internet service. This pricing model is transparent and straightforward, which makes it easy for potential customers to understand and compare to other options. And finally, Musk has leveraged the reputation and track record of SpaceX, which has become one of the most successful private exploration companies in the world. This has helped to be trusted in Starlink as a reliable and innovative solution to the problem of limited internet access in remote areas. Question number 6. How is SpaceX related to Starlink then? SpaceX is the company behind Starlink. SpaceX, also known as Space Exploration Technology Corporation, is a private American aerospace manufacturer and space transportation services company founded by Elon Musk in 2002. SpaceX designs and manufactures rockets, spacecraft, and other space-related technology with the ultimate goal of enabling people to live on other planets. Starlink is one of SpaceX's most ambitious projects, which aims to provide high-speed internet access to users worldwide through a constellation of LEO satellites. SpaceX has designed, built, and launched over 1,600 Starlink satellites as of March 2023 and plans to launch thousands more in the coming years to expand its coverage area and improve the performance of the network. Therefore, SpaceX is the parent company of Starlink and is responsible for the development, deployment, and operation of the Starlink satellite constellation. Question number 7. Why is Elon Musk investing a lot of money into Starlink? Elon is investing a huge amount of money into Starlink for several reasons. First, because Musk sees Starlink as a way to generate significant revenue for SpaceX. Musk has stated that he believes that Starlink could eventually generate $30 billion or more in an annual revenue, making it a significant source of income for SpaceX. And secondly, Musk sees Starlink as a means to fund other ambitious projects at SpaceX, such as the developing Starship spacecraft for human space flight and established in a colony on Mars. These projects are incredibly expensive, and the revenue generated by Starlink could help fund them without relying on government contracts or grants. Thirdly, Musk has a personal interest in expanding internet access worldwide because he has stated that he believes access to internet is a fundamental human right, and he sees Starlink as a way to provide internet access to people in remote areas who would otherwise be unable to connect to the internet. And finally, Musk is investing in Starlink because he sees it as a means to advance SpaceX's long-term goal of enabling humans to live on other planets by developing the technology and infrastructure necessary to provide high-speed internet access to users in remote areas of Earth. SpaceX is also building the foundation for future human settlements on other planets, where reliable and high-speed communication will be critical for the success of such missions. Question number 8. How many Starlink satellites are in orbit at present moment? When it is planned to be completed? As I aforementioned, as of March 2023, SpaceX has launched over 1,600 satellites into orbit. The first batch was launched in May 2019, and since then, SpaceX has continued to launch batches of 60 satellites at a time on a regular basis. SpaceX has not announced an exact number for how many Starlink satellites they plan to launch in total. However, in regulatory findings, the company has indicated that they could eventually develop up to 42,000 satellites for the Starlink constellation. It remains only other 670 launches to see the end of this huge project. Regarding the completion date, SpaceX has not provided a specific timeline. However, the company has stated that they plan to continue launching satellites at a rapid pace until they achieve a global coverage. Currently, Starlink is available in many parts of the world, including the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and parts of Europe and Asia, but the coverage area is still expanding. Question number 9. What other services could be improved by the use of Starlink satellite constellation? The Starlink satellite constellation has a potential to improve several services beyond just high-speed internet access. Here you are some examples. Disaster response and relief. Starlink can provide emergency responders and relief organizations with high-speed internet access in areas affected by natural disasters or other emergencies, where traditional communication networks are damaged or overloaded. This can help coordinate response efforts to provide critical information to affected communities. And telemedicine. Starlink can improve telemedicine services by providing reliable, high-speed internet access to remote or underserved areas. They can help doctors and healthcare professionals connect with patients and provide remote consultations, monitor patients remotely, and share medical records and images. Navigation and mapping. Starlink can improve navigation and mapping services by providing high-resolution satellite imagery and real-time data, allowing for more accurate and up-to-date maps and navigation systems. Transportation and logistics. Starlink can improve transportation and logistics services by providing real-time tracking and monitoring of vehicles and cargoes, improving supply chain management, and enabling autonomous vehicle technologies. And last but not least, environmental monitoring. Starlink can help improve environmental monitoring services by providing real-time data on climate and weather patterns, ocean temperatures, and other environmental factors that can impact ecosystems and human communities. Last question, number 10. Is Starlink a candidate for supplying broadband connection on commercial flights? When will this happen? Remember the last episode I talked about 5G Wi-Fi connection during flights, and I said that Starlink could be a candidate, and in fact, it is one of the solutions that will provide broadband internet connectivity on commercial flights. Several airlines, in fact, have already announced plans to partner with satellite providers, including Starlink, to offer in-flight Wi-Fi services. However, the timeline for when this will happen on a widespread basis is currently unclear. The implementation of in-flight internet service can be a complex process that requires significant investment in hardware and infrastructure and regulatory approval for government agencies, as I said in the last episode. Some airlines have already begun to offer limited internet connectivity on selected flights using existing satellite technology, but the speed and reliability of these systems can vary widely. Starlink's low Earth orbit satellite constellation has a potential to offer faster and more reliable internet speeds to airplane in flight, but it's still not yet clear when will this become widely available. If you are a fan of Elon Musk and his companies and fantastic projects like me, I am sure you enjoyed this episode totally focused on Starlink. Thank you for flying with me again. Hope you had a pleasant flight and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye bye from Cinzia.